Hello, my name is Delan Leroy Bozho. I'm an 18-year-old guy who decided I just want to think out of the box. It's not really thinking out of the box, but it's getting out of the box, because thinking out of the box means you are still in the box. Okay. As far as I could remember, I started science long back. It runs in the blood, because my father is one of the first pioneers to bring transmission here in Mutare. He used to work at ZBC Transmedia. He was a senior technician. So it's something that runs in the blood. But the things I'm doing now, doing computer programming, I'm doing robotics, I even do brain surgery. But the thing I'm doing now, I just have a feeling every time I do it. Because I have this feeling that I should have done these things when I was 8. So, from my background, I come from a very humble background, being raised by my grandparents, who did well with that. But the challenges I have been facing, I have been labeled someone. I had been labeled that I'm a lunatic of his own kind, because I decided to get out of the box, as I have said. So I couldn't indulge myself into other activities which were being done by other youths, like drug abuse, some of it like prostitution and early childhood marriages.
Well, Delan surfaced when we held the Secretary's Merit Award here, sometime in May. Is it May or June? The dates. But when the Secretary for Primary and Secondary Education came to give us this award, that's when Delan surfaced with his inventions.
Delan is a young man who is technically gifted, basically, and academically is quite competent.
It is very creative.
He needs quite some guidance. He's got a lot of energy that needs direction. So there is that side of him which needs the direction and the guidance of a bit mature people, so that he can realize his dream.
I am Delan's physics teacher. I've been teaching him since he was in O-level, and I realized that this student had a special talent in him. He's very good with practicals, so he ended up participating in exhibitions, science exhibitions. We're about to exhibit his things, and now he's continuing to do even much more than that. So as his physics teacher, I'm trying to monitor him as close as I can, so that in trying to achieve his dream, it's still proper that he gets good marks in the theory part, so that he can end up at the universities. Because you see, when he wants to get into a university, yes, they will consider his practical work, but at the same time, they would want to see his theory part of the learning that he has been doing from O-level up to A-level. So I'll try my best to monitor him so that he gets good marks for his combination maths physics chem, so that he can get into universities, and at the universities he can access much better equipment and assistance from his lecturers and professors, like we are doing right now. So he's a very good guy. He will do well. His work is pretty smart, if I may say.
Like Sochohiro Honda, I have this very dream of becoming the first African to land on the moon. My grandmother used to tell me that, do you know, when you were born, God told me that the king of tech pin has been born. So I used to disagree with her, but you see, grandmother, I'm facing some challenges here and there, even in calculus problem like mathematics. But she used to say, keep on doing your science, keep on doing your science. So I need to send a message to every scientist who is out there. I am on my way to the moon, and if I fail, I will land on one of the stars.
For the past 2-3 years, Delan has been doing. We constructed some projects for the science department, competed in the science project for the districts and a number of other competitions in the district. So I would want to advise Delan to work a little bit hard and put more of his time on both technical and theory, so that he can achieve more. And I'm expecting a lot from him. He can work very hard. He's a very good student. He's very obedient to him. So with all these things, Delan can produce a number of things which I think can help the country, can help the district of Mutare, can help to develop science in the district and the school. He is becoming a model for the school, Sakuba I1. I like that.
If given a chance, I don't need 2 chances. I only need 1 chance, 1 moment, 1 opportunity, so that I can show the world the light. I'm sure I cannot change the world, but I'm sure that I can change how people live in the world. You know, science is a beautiful branch. It's a beautiful field of endeavor, whereby man relates to God whilst he's doing the masterworks. When I was in Form 1, you know, I couldn't afford buying some firecrackers. Even my grandmother couldn't afford. So I decided, why can't I make my own? Since other children pointed at me and say, he's the smarter one. So instead, I made one. These were very harmful, and the destruction was very evident. So it caught attention of the local military authorities, who again disciplined me for such an act. So again, the next year in Form 2, I made a rocket. I just said it's a rocket, but the military insisted that it's a missile because it exploded 200 meters above sea level. So with such an act again, I was given a warning from the military again. Stop making destructive equipment.
We do, however, have to consider things like working space where from he can actually be doing his experiments at his own time, as well as maybe financial assistance in terms of upgrading the rooms where he works from. That would otherwise make him realize his dream in a quicker and a better way, to the benefit of the nation, the benefit of the province, as well as Africa at large. Even internationally, we find he is quite some rare guy who is quite imaginative, quite creative, and he would achieve so much if he receives the necessary guidance.
We noticed that he's one of those students who is very creative and very imaginative, and is almost a genius in the use of computer technology, ICT. His inventions run from is actually on making a drone, which he brought to the school, demonstrated to us, and then that's when we started discussing with him what other inventions he has at home. Delan is just an ordinary student, but very great because his mind and what he intends doing is inspiring us as a college, as well as inspiring other students who want to follow suit and be able to invent with the trust of government on STEM, science and technology. Mathematics, I think, is a candidate for that particular program which the government has put in place beginning this year.
He says his inspiration comes from his father, who is also scientifically minded. That's where he got the influence. So from Form 1, he was doing things that we would rather expect from those who were now in Form 4 or even advanced level. So we discovered that this guy has some talent. From there onwards, he pursued his designs. Now, he had some challenges, I would say, that he had to face some challenges. Sometimes if the student wants to buy even a small thing, say a cell, a touch cell, sometimes can face a challenge like they cannot afford those things. So I would direct along the line with this background. I would like to quickly direct my attention now concerning this guy and the presentations that he has to the Ministry of Science and Technology, so that they can realize that these practicals that he is giving us, he tried his best to recycle. Recycling, naturally, it would mean it's a good thing, yes, on the environmental part, but it also shows if you are recycling, you are not able to afford, right, to buy new things for your experiments that you're carrying out. So if he could be squeezed into the, say, the STEM, if they could have a special section for these children who are inventing things that we have never seen before, it would be a very good thing. Okay? So he tried his best to pursue up to now. From recycling, it means you don't have enough. So I would appeal to those who are responsible in the ministry to work closely with us, with him, with everyone who has been looking after the designs of the student.
Whilst I was in Form 3 again, I made a nuclear reactor. This nuclear reactor was made from homemade elements, sodium chloride compounds. Rather, the military again, this time they were saying if you do it again, we are giving you a hard punishment. So they are keeping an eye on me. And again, I managed to do a robotic arm, which can be used in some industries and stuff like that. I started even hacking, but I don't like hacking people because it's such a bad thing to do. I love making applications. Per day, I can do even computer programming. I can make many applications as I could, but I'm about to make one big work of art. Even I have told my friend that I have this software I have which can measure an astronaut who is in space. It's not done yet. I know NASA has done something like that, but the important part is I also have done it. They have done it as a team, but I will do it as me. So now the family is now being supportive, now seeing that the so-called labeled lunatic is now progressing into his scientific world.
From the discussion we held with Delan, his problem is financial. If Delan could get some people who support him in his endeavors, we are sure that he will go a long way and be able to invent quite a lot of other things. We are actually seeing a budding scientist coming from our institution, looking at what he is doing and what he has already done. We are sure that he is going to excel if ever he can get some people who can finance his dream. So we thank you very much for coming. I hope you are going to put him on the limelight, and I hope some people who are interested in science and technology and inventions are going to come up with some funds to assist him, because there are certain things that he needs, but his limiting factor is that he cannot finance them. Since he's coming from an ordinary peasant family where parents are not gainfully employed, they cannot support his programs. The school where he is, we are trying to encourage him to keep on. Maybe someday, somehow, we'll get some people who are going to be interested in what he is doing and be able to take it up from there. But we are confident that given the opportunity, with the zeal that he's showing, he's going to be somebody. I think that's all I can say about Delan.
Some other challenges, however, I'm facing are financial problems. Without cash, you cannot operate. But I would like to thank the school for helping me, for realizing the potential in me, the spark in me, the fire in me, for carrying me over and beyond. I'd love to thank the school. They are being supportive right now. They're permitting me to go beyond my limits. So I would like to urge some scientists out there, never give up like Sochohiro Honda. Step up to your dream. They may call you lunatic right now, but it doesn't matter. But they will call you king tomorrow. Just to remember, what you do today determines whether you see tomorrow. And some other things. I have the ability, I have a belief that I could make top class equipment. Just like, you know, Tesla, from Tesla Motors, CEO Elon Musk has just mentioned that he has an exosuit. I can make something which is better than that. I can make a superhuman. I can practice teleport-transportation, something which has never been done before. For a start, I did a cure for thrust, an STI disease. So I hope, if given enough equipment, if given enough time, and if given, I only need around 3 weeks to produce a cure for AIDS, if given the opportunity. If given the opportunity. I thank you.